about 2:30 in the afternoon. You are scheduled to be executed tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock if you don't receive another stay. What is going through your mind? What thoughts have you had in these last few days? You don't remember
years.
How long that
was? I would say a couple of years. And what I was dealing with there were very strong inhibitions against criminal behavior, violent behavior that had been conditioned into me, bred into me in my environment, in my neighborhood, in my church. People understand this, that basically I was a normal person.
You're the worst lover I've ever had, and now I have fallen into a deep depression. Hi, my name is May, and you have stumbled onto my YouTube channel. Just so you know, I will be dead one day, and that is deeply disturbing to me. I think about this very often. I look at my arms and I think, wow, there's like bones and shit under there. Remember, your time with me is sacred, because I won't be here forever, and neither will you. Ah, the majesty of life. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Bring out your dead!
I mean, just don't make a thing about it, you know? Like, don't go telling people we cuddled. What can I say, friends? At the end of the day, I have a strange love for the dead. Don't we all, though? A little bit deep down inside. I mean, we don't want to have sex with the dead. That would be very strange and taboo to do. But we do have a love and admiration and appreciation for the dead. We all try to honor the dead. I don't think anybody thinks of other people as like batteries, you know, or they expire and they leak battery acid everywhere, and then they go calmly into that good night. Put your leg down, you slut. That would be very strange and. Luckily, for those of you out there that have a genuine appreciation and love, what the fuck? Luckily, for those of you out there that have a genuine love and appreciation for the dead, I have great news for you. There's a movie just for you. It's called Nekromantik. Nekromantik is cheap, exploitation-y, grindhouse, shock, horror, comedy, love, story, film. It's also a slasher. It makes up its own rules, is my point. It is a movie about a deep and abiding appreciation and love for the dead. And who can't get behind that? Except for the fact that they do have sex with dead bodies in the movie, which is crossing a line probably. I know what I've done. I accepted that. I'm in denial. Let's just admit it. I clearly loved the dead, so I have, you know, some sacred experience. And who doesn't love a little experience, you know, in a woman? So I'll tell you all about it, friends. I'll tell you all about it. So Nekromantik is a movie that is enigmatic in what it's trying to do, because it's difficult to determine whether the movie is a joke or not. I don't think it is, but that almost makes it funnier. You know, I say this thing a lot where people are like, oh, I hate right-wing media. I'm of the opinion that I enjoy watching right-wing media because it makes me laugh, because they're genuinely like that way. That's so fucked up to me. Nekromantik is kind of the same deal, where it's just kind of like, if they mean this genuinely, how fucked up is that, right? But if they're being edgelords about it, what a weird way to be an edgelord. And also, if it has to do with man pain, why this? Let me explain. Nekromantik is the story of a guy who like cleans up dead bodies, and sometimes he likes to take a little bit home with him, you know, on the side, you know, just a little bit, because he's kind of into that sort of thing. But it seems like at the beginning, it's more like this genuine love and appreciation for the dead, where he's like putting organs and eyes and stuff that he finds like in jars, and he's just like, preserve it, appreciate it, love it. And isn't that great? Things take a turn when he finds a really like fucked up and rotted dead body, and he's like, all right, I know exactly what to do with this. And he takes it home to his girlfriend, and they both take turns, you know, making love to it. Don't start. I don't want to talk about it. But then things get a little bit weird, a little bit complicated after the three-way with the body, because the dude's girlfriend like starts talking to the body and like starts to date the body, and then they're like, we're gonna be a thing, me and the body, and you and I are not gonna be a thing. I'm gonna just be with the body now. Go along now. If only you were dead, then I would like you.
Vom ersten Tage an geliebt. Hans, gestand sie wohl.
The remainder of the movie becomes this like overindulgent display of guy can't get over the breakup, so he goes into this like suicidal and homicidal rage, which then ultimately leads to his lovely demise. And of course, this piques the interest of his ex-girlfriend, who comes back to dig him up and, you know, have her way with him. This is pathetic. Or it's hilarious. It's either pathetic or hilarious. And that's kind of the great thing about the movie, because as far as shock goes, I don't think that it really gets very far into the old psyche. Everything in the movie just looks too fake, feels too bad, and kind of is just kind of hilarious. I don't know. It doesn't really do much shocking to me. However, it does tickle that weird little part of my brain that makes me want to make videos. It's the part of my brain that says, what is this? And also, why, God? This is concerning. It's okay. You think so? Look deep into it. There's this term that people use for a movie that's kind of like this. They call it a man pain movie. Man pain is valid. People have pain, but there's this one specific kind of man pain that like every film student ever really wants to talk about, and that's sort of the man pain of, oh no, a girl left me for a better person, and now I have to either become a better person or self-destruct. And usually the narrative would take the turn where the person would become a better person and then would like move on and wouldn't need that bitch anymore. And that's kind of the attitude of the movie. You know, I don't need that bitch anymore. And that kind of is man pain. This movie almost, well, it kind of does. It does fall into this category, but also does it because at the end of the film, it subverts that very trope. Instead of the dude growing and being better than her, he literally just self-destructs. But his self-destruction is actually an improvement. That's interesting. That sets something on fire in me. Sort of like this, but not like you. At the core of it, this movie is kind of like this very specific man pain version that's surrounding cucking. Like it's cucking. He gets cucked by a corpse.
Unseren Freund habe ich als letztes Geschenk von dir mitgenommen. Lebe wohl.
As we all know, that's insane and silly. This version of man pain still is kind of exactly that thing. Like, it's still exactly the same version of man pain. It just has this very weird twist on it at the ending that almost makes it feel like it's always been a comedy the whole time, and not that it was ever unintentionally this way. So the question always comes down to, like, Jörg Buttgereit, director of Nekromantik, did you intend this to be really clever, or did you intend this to be like the stupidest thing? Please email me and let me know. And also support me on Patreon, Jörg Buttgereit. I'm realizing at this moment that I am probably the only person in the whole world that watched Nekromantik, and then instead of getting horrifically disgusted and shutting it off immediately, made a video essay about it. I had thoughts, okay? I had things to say. I'm probably the only person that's ever given Nekromantik any serious academic thought. So as I say, Jörg Buttgereit, why did you do this? Please explain it to me. I am probably the only person in the world that is taking this seriously. We must put this out, I think. I think ultimately, when you get down to it, there's something amazing about the sentence, "My girl left me for a dead body." But I think that gets to, like, how maybe Jörg Buttgereit sees the world, where he, like, legitimately thinks that everyone that isn't him is like a dead person. Including himself, apparently. He also thinks that he's this way. I find this kind of, like, self-deprecating arrogance, the kind of person that would say, you know, I hate myself, I want to die, like, things like this, but not because of legitimate sadness. Like, there is legitimate sadness in there, but the main reason is kind of because it's, like, it's an arrogant thing. Like, it comes across as an arrogant thing. This movie comes across very ingenuine in its, like, suicidal nature. If the movie read like someone who really experienced a whole bunch of trauma and stuff like that, and like tried to make that into a movie, I genuinely don't think that that's the truth. I think it's a man pain movie that's edgelord as fuck. I go back and forth between whether I find it, like, edgy or genuinely loving. Like, sometimes I think when you intersect this with the idea that, you know, she left me for a dead body, you get this blend where, like, genuinely it's more loving than that. I know that sounds really fucking weird to say, but it's honestly more loving than that. It's more loving than any of the words I use to describe it, but it's also garish and horrible and should definitely not exist, and I can't wait to watch the sequel, which exists for some fucking reason. You know, I'm the kind of person that I enjoy knowledge. I enjoy understanding. I enjoy considering the moral and the ethic, and also the intellectual. So I've got to experience all kinds of things to put in my brain so that I have a very vast understanding of the world, you know, so that I can entertain you. So I think that, you know, while I didn't really enjoy today, I do feel like the experience has been healthy. It's been a good one for you and I do think we've all learned a lot. I don't think I love the dead. I mean, I love some dead people, but also, you know, sometimes I think about, you know, how Jerry Falwell is dead, and that makes me better than him, because I'm not dead.
Each time I'd harm someone, each time I'd kill someone, there'd be an enormous amount, especially at first, enormous amount of horror, guilt, remorse afterwards. But then that impulse to do it again would come back even stronger. Now, believe me, I didn't The unique thing about how this works, Dr. Dobson, is that I still film in my regular life the full range of skills.
Wow. Fuck this. Wow. Okay, so why don't you start? Can you explain what's happened? What do you know? You know what? Here, give me that. You can't smoke in my home, you sleazy bastard. Well, I did it. I went out there and I did it. I popped my cherry. All for you. Aren't you happy for me? That's right, I did it, ladies. I saw Nekromantik 2 for the first time. Not so innocent anymore, am I, ladies? All the boys are looking at me different. Ah, a woman of experience, they're saying. Nekromantik 2. Oh man. Okay, so it's important that we talk about Nekromantik 2 if we're talking about Nekromantik 1, because they're essentially the same movie, but the second movie tricks you into thinking that it's a different movie. It's like a liar. Oh boy, Jorg Butgereit has one idea, and he's gonna go for it. He's gonna do his idea as big as he can. This movie is disgusting in the same way where it's like, we want to do the corpse fucking thing. Well, what if it's a less rotted corpse? Then it's like even grossier. But a problem is ensued when our woman main character, how great is that? Femme fatale's here. We've got a lady. Isn't that wonderful? She fucks her ex-boyfriend's dead body, as you do, and she discovers that his penis cannot sorta... How do I explain this? Remington, do you have any idea how I tell the youth about this? He is no help in the bedroom either, don't worry. He cannot get a stiffy, so she's like, dang, can't have sex with him, so then she just goes and throws up, like you do. So it's like, it's aping the exact scene with the exact problem where it's like, well, how do you fuck a corpse? Well, you have to make a makeshift dick. But then, like, what if you can't make a makeshift dick? Like, what if the dick doesn't work and there's nothing around to make a dick with? And come on, ladies, you want the real deal. I know, you don't want a metal bar. There's a big difference. Trust me, okay? To top it off, you're like, okay, this movie is going to have some sort of major irony at some point. I suppose the major irony is that she can't fuck the corpse. But anyway, she starts dating a living human guy. And they start to kinda, it's kinda sweet. They go on a Ferris wheel together, and she does think about her dead ex-boyfriend in a sexual context while they're on the Ferris wheel. But, you know, so on one of those dates, she turns on a video of a poor seal getting its face removed, which is fucking horrible, and I hate you, Jorg Butgereit, you piece of crap. Why did all the edgy boys do the same shit? It's pathetic. They think they're so fucking cool. But really, you know, they think they're trying to impress me with their sick, nasty things like, ooh, look how edgy I can do such edgy things. But I'm over here being like, yeah, okay, but maybe I'm a little tired of that brand of edge. Maybe that brand of edge just looks a little pathetic in 2021. All I'm saying is, Jorg Butgereit, right? You've got some good ideas. You don't need to show me the inside of a seal's face. I already liked you, my dude. You don't have to do this. On a date, they watch this seal video, and the boyfriend sure can't handle it. He's like, I don't think I like to watch this. And she's like, shit, I guess I'm going to have sex with you. So then, when they're having the sex, she then kills him to death. And then, while killing him, tries to keep the blood in his penis. Sometimes I hate my fucking job. I'm trying to figure out if I even care anymore. Is the world just fucking over with? So she tries to keep the blood in his penis so that he will remain hard after she cuts his head off, so that she can quickly run and go get her ex-boyfriend's decaying head, throw that in the head zone, and then have sex with the hard penis with the decaying boyfriend's rotting face, you see.
She solved her problem.
Now I know that you're saying, wow, that's fucked up, my dude. That's real fucked up. Might I interest you in the information that this movie is boring as shit. Like, listen, I've watched some boring movies, but I didn't know you could make a corpse fucking movie really, really boring. I did not know this, but this man managed to do it twice. Could definitely do with maybe trimming like 20 to 30 minutes off of both of these movies, or perhaps making them one film. A grand opus of corpse fucking.
Mit dem gehe ich mit. Da kannst du sicher sein, weil ich werde meine besten Jahre garantiert nicht hier mit dir verbringen, diesen Loch.
God, why do I do this to myself? Do you know? Well, you're part of the problem. My therapist would say you are the problem. Here's the thing that I hate. Jörg Buttgereit has basically devised yet another film that is essentially just a fucking joke. It's just a joke. The first movie, right? Guy gets cucked by a corpse. Da-da. Hilarious. Second movie, woman wants to fuck her dead boyfriend, but he ain't got a hard dick, so she goes and gets one. Hilarious. What a king of comedy, Jörg Buttgereit. I'm sure he's a big old hit with parties. Parties, you remember those before COVID?
Cucking, you remember that before COVID?
Shit.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch, Sie sind schwanger.
Nekromantik 2, I don't know. What do you think? What the fuck do you think? I realize as I'm sitting here now that the first part of this, like when I was talking about Nekromantik, I was like, me, an intellectual, has never ever analyzed Nekromantik for its sort of themes and deviation. But now I'm sitting here realizing, like Ozymandias, what I have wrought. And oh boy, I hate what I put into my mind, and I hate what's coming out of my mouth, and I hate that it's going into your ears, and I hate that you're here. Fucking nightmare. This is a nightmare I'm having. That explains everything. Oh my god. That makes me feel a lot better, actually. Mm-hmm. This is just a nightmare I'm having. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna wake up.
Oh, yeah.
That would be very strange and... Hello. Do you remember me? You should, because you just saw me on the video. I am a creator that makes her money entirely off of Patreon. So, if you would like to support what I do here and support, me buying equipment and making cool sets and making a cool show, hopefully more frequently, support me on Patreon. Even $1 helps. A lot of people are like, I'm not going to give $1 because that's insignificant. But no, please give me a like on your favorite platform. And I will see you next time, my love, my dear. And remember, even when you're dead, I will still love you, because I am a necromantic person, a lover of the dead. a necrophile, if you will. I'm going to regret saying this and then uploading it onto the internet with a photo of Rasputin and Jeffrey Dahmer and also the skeleton from that video. I'm going to regret this.
Now here you go again, say you want your freedom, but who am I to keep you down? It's only right if you should run from your dreams and listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness and your heartbeat drives you mad. The stillness of remembering what you have and what you love and what you have and what you love. Ooh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. And they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. Now here I go again, I see your crystallization. I keep my visions to myself. It's only right that you should run around your dreams. Have you any dreams you'd like to sell? Dreams of loneliness and the heartbeat drives you mad. The stillness of remembering what you have and what you love and what you have and what you love. And the thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. You will know. Oh, you'll know.
That killing me is going to restore those beautiful children to their parents and correct and soothe the pain. But I'll tell you, there are lots of other kids playing in streets around this country today who are going to be dead tomorrow and the next day and the next day and next month because other young people are reading the kinds of things and seeing the kinds of things